Welcome back to the Deep Dive, the show where we take your complex documents, research, and notes and transform them into clear, actionable knowledge. Our aim is to give you that shortcut to being truly well-informed, with a few surprising facts and a good dose of curiosity along the way. Today, we're diving into a document at the cutting edge of AI innovation, the OWASP AI Maturity Assessment version 1.0. It was published very recently, August 11th, 2025. This isn't just another report you'll skim and forget. Think of it as a comprehensive blueprint, a practical guide for organizations navigating the fast-paced, sometimes risky world of artificial intelligence. It's about building AI systems that are not just intelligent, but also inherently secure, fair, and trustworthy.
Yeah, and what's truly critical about this document is how it addresses a pressing challenge. AI innovation has been moving at, well, an astonishing pace, yet our frameworks for ensuring these systems are secure, reliable, and, aligned with human values haven't quite caught up. This deep dive aims to bridge that very gap for you, offering a structured approach to responsible AI.
Our mission today is to unpack this foundational document. We'll go through it section by section, guiding you through its most important concepts. We'll explain why this model is so urgently needed, what unique value it adds to the existing landscape, and then we'll drill down into its 8 core assessment domains.
We'll explore the specific practices within each domain like responsible AI, governance, and data management, and walk through what it means to achieve different levels of maturity in each area. This will give you a concrete understanding of how organizations can assess their current capabilities and build a practical roadmap for improvement.
So if you've ever wondered how to make AI safer, more ethical, and truly trustworthy in practice, you're definitely in the right place. Okay, let's begin our deep dive into the OWASP AMA document.
The urgent need for AI maturity.
Let's start with the big picture. Why do we even need an AI maturity assessment model like AMA right now? The document opens by drawing a parallel to OWASP PAM from 2008, which helped embed security into traditional software development. Why is AI at a similar crossroads today, requiring its own dedicated framework?
Well, the fundamental difference is that AI introduces a whole new class of risks that traditional software models simply weren't designed to handle. Think about it. Conventional software behaves predictably based on its code. AI, however, often learns and operates probabilistically. This creates fundamentally new ethical, operational, and technical challenges that weren't primary concerns for older systems. Its behavior can be dynamic, evolving over time, and that's a real security paradigm shift.
And these aren't small stakes, are they? The document emphasizes AI becoming integral to critical infrastructure, products, and services, leading to heightened public scrutiny and evolving regulatory requirements. Can you elaborate on the severity of these risks, especially since they're no longer just technical glitches?
No, the stakes are incredibly high. They affect both organizations and the individuals they serve. The document clearly states that AI introduces unique challenges related to security, privacy, fairness, transparency, and accountability. Organizations can no longer afford to be reactive, they need a proactive stance. These challenges are amplified because AI systems increasingly influence critical decisions across health, finance, education, and public services. Imagine an AI system making biased decisions in loan approvals, or a faulty AI impacting medical diagnoses. The impacts aren't just technical, they have widespread, significant effects on people's lives and society as a whole. Some errors can rapidly erode public trust, lead to serious legal liabilities, and cause severe reputational damage. It's serious stuff.
So it's not just about avoiding incidents, it's about proactively fostering trust and ensuring ethical outcomes from the very outset.
Precisely. The document stresses that this proactive approach must cover the entire AI system lifecycle, from data collection, model training, deployment, and ongoing monitoring. You need to think about it end to end. The global demand for responsible AI frameworks is clear, with the document citing regulatory standards like the EU AI Act, OECD AI principles, and emerging guidance from ISO and NIST. It's a strong signal that responsible AI isn't an option. It's a global imperative for building trustworthy systems.
Right. Given these unique challenges, the document explicitly states that models like CMMI or even the original OWASP SAM were not built with AI's unique properties in mind. What are these unique properties that make AI so fundamentally different for security and risk assessment?
So the document identifies 4 key characteristics that challenge traditional security models. First, we have non-deterministic behavior. This means AI model outputs can change even with the same input, simply due to different data contexts or iterative learning. This makes them inherently less predictable than conventional software. You can't always guarantee the same result.
Right.
Second, there's opaque decision logic. Many AI models, particularly complex deep learning networks, are often called black boxes. It's incredibly difficult, sometimes impossible, to fully interpret why a particular decision was made. This explainability gap raises serious accountability issues, especially in high-stakes applications.
That black box problem is a huge hurdle, isn't it? Especially when we think about legal compliance or ensuring fairness. If you can't explain an AI's decision, how do you defend it or rectify errors?
Exactly, that's a core concern. The third challenge relates to data-centric vulnerabilities. Unlike traditional software, where attacks primarily target the code itself, AI systems are highly susceptible to vulnerabilities that exploit their training data and pipelines. This includes adversarial attacks where subtle, often imperceptible changes to input data can trick a model into making incorrect outputs.
Hmm.
Or data poisoning, where malicious data is deliberately injected into the training set to degrade performance or introduce backdoors. This fundamentally shifts the attack surface from just the code to the very fuel that powers AI. Finally, AI systems exhibit dynamic risk surfaces. They're not static, they continuously evolve as they learn from new data, requiring ongoing assurance and adaptation of security measures throughout their operational life.
That's a significant departure from how we've typically approached software security. It's not a one-time audit, it's a continuous process. So how does AI specifically address these shortcomings and bridge that gap between abstract principles and practical implementation?
While AI's strength lies in its ability to translate abstract goals, such as fairness, robustness, and transparency, into measurable activities and outcomes, it achieves this through several key features. It supports contextual assessments, meaning organizations can tailor the framework to their specific AI adoption level, whether they're just starting or are deeply integrated. It promotes incremental improvement, providing clear, achievable progression paths without demanding immediate, full compliance, which is really practical.
Yeah, that's important.
And critically, it fosters cross-functional alignment, making it a valuable tool not just for technical teams, but also for legal advisors, risk managers, and executive leadership. It promotes a unified organizational approach to AI responsibility.
That cross-functional aspect is vital. AI is clearly no longer just an engineering problem. It's an organizational one that touches every part of a business.
Absolutely. And significantly, unlike some proprietary or closed frameworks, AI is open source and community driven. This design choice invites continuous adaptation and evolution through real-world usage, feedback, and iteration. This collaborative approach makes it more resilient and ensures it can rapidly incorporate new research and regulatory changes, staying relevant in a fast-moving field.
That brings up a great point. AI isn't operating in a vacuum. It's part of a larger OWASP ecosystem. What other OWASP resources are specifically mentioned as complementary guidings to AIMA, and how do they fit together to create a holistic approach?
Right, it doesn't stand alone. The document highlights 4 sister projects that provide crucial complementary guidance and bolster AIMA's foundation. First, there's the OWASP Top 10 for large language model applications. This is a curated list of the most critical security vulnerabilities specifically for LLM-based systems, offering focused guidance. Very timely. Then we have the OWASP AI Security and Privacy Guide, which provides practical advice on how to build, test, and procure secure and privacy-preserving AI systems. The OWASP AI Exchange serves as a comprehensive, community-driven repository of AI security and governance best practices, like a living knowledge base. And finally, the OWASP Machine Learning Security Top 10, which offers a threat taxonomy specifically for ML systems, covering both adversarial and infrastructure-level attacks.
So it's not just a standalone document. It leverages an entire suite of existing trusted OWASP resources. That
Right.
makes it incredibly robust and interconnected.
Precisely. Together, these resources form the backbone of AIMA's threat model, scope, and community approach. They ensure a holistic and interconnected approach to AI security, making AIMA a well-supported and comprehensive framework within a broader ecosystem of established expertise.
The AM model, the 8 pillars of responsible AI.
Okay, let's unpack the core of AIMA. It defines 8 assessment domains that span the entire AI system lifecycle. This is really where the framework comes to life, giving organizations a structured way to evaluate their posture. Can you quickly list these 8 key domains for us?
Absolutely. The 8 domains are responsible AI principles, governance, data management, privacy, design, implementation, verification, and operations. And the document specifies that each domain includes maturity criteria grouped into 2 complementary streams: create and promote, which is stream A, and measure and improve, or stream B. This means it's not just about having policies in place, but also about how effectively you track, monitor, and refine them.
That dual stream approach makes a lot of sense. It's not just about doing things, but also about improving how you do them. Let's dive into the first one, responsible AI. What does this pillar specifically address, and why is it distinct from traditional software concerns?
The responsible AI pillar is crucial because it specifically addresses the distinct ethical and societal implications that arise specifically from artificial intelligence. While traditional software focuses on functionality and technical security, AI systems introduce unique risks around fairness, transparency, and broader societal impacts that extend far beyond mere code vulnerabilities. This dedicated pillar is essential due to the inherent opacity of AI decision-making processes, that black box problem we discussed, and the potential for unintended biases in training data, which can lead to discriminatory or harmful outcomes in the real world.
So it's really tackling the social conscience of AI, which is a major leap beyond just technical bugs. This pillar has three core practices.
Responsible AI practices.
First up, in responsible AI, we have ethical values and societal impact. What are the core objectives for organizations striving in this area?
This practice is about embedding a deep sense of purpose. Its objectives are to promote human-centric AI, ensuring AI serves humanity's best interests, to support human well-being by contributing positively to society, to safeguard fundamental rights, ensuring AI respects individual and community liberties, to ensure rule of law, so AI complies with regulations, to secure environmental protection, fostering sustainable AI development, and to encourage stakeholder engagement, actively involving diverse perspectives throughout the AI lifecycle. What's truly groundbreaking about this practice is its holistic focus. It moves beyond just not doing harm to actively promoting positive outcomes in society and the environment from the very outset.
Okay, how does an organization demonstrate increasing maturity in these areas? What do the levels look like?
Right, so at level 1, organizations are typically quite reactive and informal. Stream A, create promote, means ethical concerns are often only addressed after an incident forces them to, and accountability is informal. Stream B, measure and improve, involves occasional discussions and a lack of structured training. It's very ad hoc.
Got it.
By level 2, organizations start to implement structured frameworks. Stream A includes a defined ethical and environmental policy and formal ethics governance with designated officers or committees. Ethical and environmental impact assessments are also integrated systematically into project planning. In Stream B, you'll see role-specific training for employees, supported discussions around ethical dilemmas, and routine reflection on ethical considerations within project activities.
This level 3 really gets to the heart of cultural change, doesn't it? It talks about rewarding ethics and normalized decision making. It sounds like it's about changing the very fabric of the organization, not just checking boxes.
Exactly. At level 3, organizations fully embed an ethical AI culture. Stream A features continuous monitoring of ethical and environmental KPIs, policy evolution based on continuous feedback and new insights, and automated integration of ethical considerations and tools throughout the entire AI lifecycle. In Stream B, ethical behavior is actively rewarded and recognized within career progression. There is cultural reinforcement through leadership and organizational events, and ethical considerations become normalized decision-making across all organizational levels. It's about making ethics an intrinsic default part of how the organization operates.
Okay, next practice. Transparency and explainability. These concepts are thrown around a lot in AI, but why are they so crucial for truly trustworthy AI systems?
They're essential precisely because AI systems can often be those black boxes we mentioned earlier. The objectives here are to enhance trust and accountability by making AI decisions understandable, to facilitate regulatory compliance by providing clear justifications, to enable effective oversight for detecting errors or biases, to improve user engagement by empowering informed decisions, and to support continuous improvement by refining models based on insights from explanations. The document is clear. Transparency is about openly sharing information on how AI operates, while explainability focuses on providing clear and understandable reasons for AI decisions.
How do the maturity levels guide an organization towards greater transparency and explainability here?
Well, at level 1, information sharing is largely inconsistent and reactive. Stream A involves manual documentation only after issues arise, and informal roles for managing explanations. Stream B indicates informal awareness within teams and voluntary queries for model explanations. It's a very ad hoc stage.
Right, just reacting.
By level 2, organizations begin to define structured implementations. Stream A includes a defined policy for transparency and explainability, role clarity for designated explainability champions, and the use of standardized tools like Chafin, Lime, and model cards, which are embedded into development pipelines. Stream B features role-based training on these tools and concepts, along with systematic retrospectives to evaluate the clarity and effectiveness of explanations.
Chef and line are specific examples of tools mentioned here. That makes it really tangible for someone trying to implement this in practice.
Indeed, it helps ground it. Then, at level 3, it's about embedding a full transparency culture. Stream A involves automated processes for explanation documentation, performance integration where transparency effectiveness is part of system evaluations, and real-time metrics to monitor explanation quality. Stream B introduces automated remediation when transparency standards are not met, cultural innovation through organization-wide events promoting open dialogue, and a continuous open dialogue fostering improvement across the organization.
Our third practice under responsible AI is fairness and bias. We know AI systems can perpetuate or even amplify existing biases. What's the core challenge here, and what are the objectives for addressing it effectively?
The core challenge is that AI systems can learn biases from historical data, algorithmic choices, even human feedback, potentially leading to discriminatory outcomes in critical areas like hiring, lending, or healthcare. And the document wisely points out that technical fixes like debiasing algorithms and fairness metrics matter, but aren't enough on their own. It emphasizes the critical need for robust organizational structures and cultural shifts.
So it's organizational too.
Absolutely. The objectives are broad: to raise organization-wide fairness awareness, to define role-specific fairness requirements, to embed standardized assessment toolkits for identifying bias, to establish fairness governance forums, and to measure and iterate on fairness outcomes continuously.
And what does maturity look like for an organization tackling fairness and bias?
At level 1, bias is typically addressed reactively, often only after complaints. Stream A describes an ad hoc response, unclear roles regarding bias management, and a general lack of tools. Stream B shows limited awareness across the organization and informal reporting with no defined metrics for fairness. Very basic.
Right.
For level 2, there's a shift to more structured implementation. Stream A includes defined policies for fairness, tool integration for bias assessments, and regular assessments to identify and mitigate bias. Stream B shows role-specific training on fairness principles and feedback mechanisms for reporting bias concerns, though organizational engagement might still be partial.
It sounds like level 3 is really about socializing ethical AI throughout the organization, talking about incentivized culture and red teaming exercises. It's about building a proactive, resilient system.
Exactly. At level 3, fairness is fully integrated into the organizational culture, with automated monitoring and continuous improvement. Stream A includes automated monitoring for real-time bias detection, enterprise-wide metrics integrated directly into business KPIs, and process integration through CI/CD pipelines to bake fairness checks into development. Stream B features an incentivized culture where fairness is explicitly part of career growth and recognition, proactive exercises like red teaming to anticipate and expose biases, and continuous enhancement initiatives driven by ongoing learning. It's about making fairness an inherent, deeply embedded part of the operational culture.
Governance practices.
Okay, let's move on to our second major domain, governance. In the context of AI, what unique challenges does it introduce for governance beyond what we typically see in traditional software?
AI systems introduce several distinct governance challenges. The document highlights non-deterministic behavior, where predictions can drift and require continuous oversight. Opaque decision logic, making it hard to explain outcomes, leading to potential regulatory, ethical, and reputational risks. A data-centric attack surface, where poisoned or biased data can compromise security and integrity even before code is written. And crucially, rapidly evolving regulation. Think frameworks like the EU AI Act, NIST AI, RMF, ISO 42001. They demand traceable risk controls throughout the model lifecycle. Governance here isn't just about rules, it's about a closed-loop system of direction, control, and enablement across every AI initiative. Its purpose is to connect intent to execution, enforce shift-left accountability by embedding controls early, and drive measurable improvement.
That's a comprehensive vision for governance, far beyond traditional IT oversight. This pillar has 3 practices. First up, in governance, strategy, and metrics. What's the main goal here for AI maturity?
This practice really forms the foundation of AI security governance. Its core purpose is ensuring the organization knows where it is going with AI security, the strategy, and how it will know it is getting there, the metrics. The objectives are clear. Strategic alignment of AI security with broader business goals, defining metrics and value tracking to guide improvements, and establishing mechanisms for continuous improvement through iterative reviews.
How does maturity progress in strategy and metrics for AI? What does that look like?
At level 1, you typically see minimal alignment between AI security efforts and business goals. There's unclear accountability, and processes are ad hoc. Stream B indicates no formal metrics are in place, and insights are largely incident-driven, meaning data is gathered reactively after a problem occurs. By level 2, organizations have a more documented strategy for AI security and clear governance with defined roles, like an AI security lead. Stream A notes planned integration of AI security efforts into broader project roadmaps. In Stream B, an established metric set is in place, including relevant fairness metrics and model risk classifications, with regular collection and reporting of these metrics.
The idea of predictive and preventative metrics at level 3 is fascinating, using data to anticipate risks rather than just react to them.
It's a key differentiator. At level 3, the AI security and responsible AI strategy is fully embedded into the broader corporate governance, backed by executive sponsorship. Stream A also emphasizes lifecycle integration of mandatory AI security controls throughout the entire development and deployment process. Stream B involves advanced analytics and monitoring for real-time insights, the use of predictive and preventive metrics that forecast risks proactively, and a culture of data-driven and ethical governance where these metrics actively feed strategic decision-making.
Next, policy and compliance. How does AI suggest organizations manage this critical area, especially with the rapidly evolving regulatory landscape for AI?
Right, this practice tackles how high-level principles are translated into concrete actions. Policy and compliance translates high-level AI security and responsible AI principles into concrete rules and oversight mechanisms. The objectives are to define and maintain AI-specific policies and standards, to ensure and demonstrate compliance with external laws and internal requirements, and to drive continuous policy improvement through regular reviews and automation.
And what do the maturity levels look like for policy and compliance?
At level 1, AI risks are minimally addressed, often just an extension of existing policies, updates are reactive, and teams generally lack clear AI-specific guidance. Stream B shows reactive compliance and limited oversight with informal risk assessment. Pretty basic. At level 2, organizations have documented AI policies and standards and conduct periodic reviews. Stream A notes consistent application of these policies across various AI projects. Stream B includes established compliance processes like privacy impact assessments and bias audits, a consistent risk framework, and regular internal audit and reporting mechanisms.
Automated enforcement with CI/CD gates and policy as code tooling. At level 3, that sounds like serious shift-left accountability, baking policy right into the development pipeline.
Absolutely. At level 3, there's an integrated policy framework where AI policies are deeply embedded in enterprise governance and proactive evolution that anticipates emerging threats and regulatory changes. Stream A highlights automated enforcement with CI/CD gates and policy as code tooling, ensuring compliance at every step. Stream B shows holistic compliance integration with real-time regulatory watch lists, advanced risk analytics capable of detecting compliance breaches, and active benchmarking and certification against leading industry frameworks.
Okay, finally, for governance, education, and guidance. What's the objective here, and why is it so important for responsible AI, given its cross-functional nature?
The objective here is to raise AI security and responsible AI awareness across all roles that design, build, or oversee AI, to provide role-specific training and resources that are practical and actionable, and to measure learning effectiveness and continuously improve curricula. What's particularly insightful is the focus on everyone who influences an AI: system developers, data scientists, product managers, executives, risk officers, even procurement. It's a clear recognition that secure and responsible AI is a fundamental team sport, requiring widespread understanding and shared responsibility, not just something for the technical team.
Makes sense. How does the maturity model map to this broad need for education?
Well, level 1 learning is typically ad hoc with limited reach, often just to core engineering teams. Stream B indicates no formal measurement of training effectiveness and reactive improvements to content. At level 2, organizations start to provide structured role-based training. There's a documented curriculum for mandatory courses and role tailoring for different personas within the organization. Stream A also includes a guidance library integrated into daily tools. Stream B involves tracked participation and assessments of training, along with feedback loops for content revision and skill gap analysis to identify training needs.
Level three's just-in-time microlearning, embedded in pipelines and code reviews, sounds incredibly practical, bringing education directly into the workflow.
It's a game changer for cultural adoption, I think. At level 3, organizations embed a continuous, data-driven learning culture. Stream A features just-in-time micro-learning snippets integrated directly into development pipelines and code reviews, fostering a vibrant community and mentorship culture, and automated guidance updates based on new threat intelligence. Stream B shows performance-linked metrics where training impact is measured through tangible outcomes like reduced defect density, and adaptive curriculum where AI might even identify learning gaps, and active benchmarking and recognition to demonstrate leadership.
Data management practices.
Let's move to data management, our third domain. Why does data play such a unique and critical role in AI systems compared to traditional software? It really does seem like it's the lifeblood of AI.
Data is absolutely the lifeblood of AI, and its role is profoundly different. The document explains that unlike traditional software, AI relies fundamentally on large data sets, not only for operation, but also for training and validation. This means that if the data is compromised in any way, its quality, its integrity, its source, then the AI itself is fundamentally compromised. The document notes that data quality and governance significantly impact AI system reliability, fairness, and security.
Ooh.
This pillar includes three crucial practices. Okay, first, data quality and integrity. What are the objectives for this practice when you're thinking specifically about AI? The objectives here are precise. To establish data sitness for advanced AI systems, ensuring the data is truly ready for complex AI, including large language models, to enable scalable and trustworthy AI deployment by guaranteeing the soundness of data consumed by models, and to identify and prioritize risk areas related to data sourcing and its lifecycle management. And the document provides explicit definitions, which is helpful. Data quality for AI-ready data refers to the degree to which data is accurate, complete, consistent, timely, relevant, and fit for use. And data integrity refers to assurance that data remains authentic, reliable, and unaltered throughout its lifecycle.
How does an organization mature in data quality and integrity?
At level 1, data often exists in siloed departments, is of poor quality, and has no validation. Stream A notes no traceability regarding data origin, and Stream B shows manual handling with poor auditability. It's very disjointed, very basic. By level 2, initial cleansing processes are implemented. Stream A includes initial cleansing efforts, partial lineage tracking, and early standards for data quality. Stream B shows manual change tracking and inconsistent controls over data modifications. Getting better, but still quite manual.
Level 3 specifically mentions LLM-specific data filters, e.g., toxicity hallucination-prone data. That's a very specific and timely example showing how advanced this gets.
Indeed. At level 3, there's fully integrated data management and a quality culture. Stream A features standardized metrics for data quality, active quality management incorporating those LLM-specific filters, and curated data based on continuous model feedback. Stream B achieves full traceability of data, automated integrity checks, and proactive compliance with data regulations.
Second practice here is data governance and accountability. What are its objectives, especially for advanced AI systems like LLMs, which consume vast and varied data sets?
The document provides a powerful analogy here. Governance is the policy scaffolding, and accountability is the ethical compass guiding responsible AI use. I like that framing.
Yeah, that's good.
It highlights the dual nature of this practice. Its objectives are to establish policy control for all data used in AI, to enable traceability and oversight, to define ownership and stewardship for both data and models, and importantly, to scale governance for modern AI, to accommodate dynamic and often third-party data sources.
What are the maturity levels here for robust data governance?
At level 1, there's often an absence of defined policies for AI data and undefined roles for data stewardship. Stream A notes unstructured governance for AI datasets. Stream B shows undefined ownership, significant documentation gaps, and a general lack of accountability.
Right, sort of the Wild West.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
At level 2, organizations begin to define formal governance structures. Stream A includes a basic governance charter and initial stewardship roles for data, along with active policy development. Stream B shows partial ownership assignment and preliminary documentation for data assets, starting to get organized.
Clearly enforced accountability with responsible AI review boards at level 3 really paints a picture of robust oversight and proactive management. That sounds quite mature.
It does. At level 3, there's a comprehensive framework for enterprise-wide data governance and AI-specific policies addressing the unique needs of LLMs and agentic systems. Stream A notes dynamic adaptability to evolving data landscapes. Stream B features enforced accountability with those dedicated review boards, robust incident management for data-related issues with continuous audits, and full traceability from data sourcing to final model decisions.
Okay, finally, for data management, data training. It's more than just collecting data. It's about making sure that data is fit for purpose for training these models. What's the core focus here?
This is a critical distinction. It's about ensuring the accuracy, security, and compliance of training data sets becomes critical. It's also about proactively preventing bias, hallucinations, or model drift that can arise from poor training data. The document emphasizes structured curation, ongoing validation, governance of data sourcing, and monitoring for ethical and legal compliance. Its objectives are to ensure fitness for purpose of the training data, to mitigate risk and bias, to enable secure and ethical use, to support continuous improvement, and to maintain transparency and auditability throughout the training process.
How does an organization grow in the specific area of managing its training data? What do the levels involve?
At level 1, data collection for training is unstructured with no labeling standards. Stream A also notes manual validation of training data. Stream B shows no compliance checks for data usage, unchecked data use for third-party data, and inherent security risk.
Okay, lots of potential problems there.
Definitely. At level 2, guidelines established for training data collection and labeling. Stream A includes partial validation processes and early-stage curation. Stream B shows initial privacy checks, growing licensing awareness for data, and early bias awareness in the dataset.
Dynamic curation based on model feedback. In level 3, that sounds like a sophisticated feedback loop where the model itself helps improve its future training data.
Absolutely, it's quite advanced. At level 3, there are automated pipelines for data preparation and feature engineering, continuous validation of training data, and truly dynamic curation based on real-time model feedback. Stream A mentions automated curation. Stream B includes systematic compliance audits, verified usage rights for all data, and robust security measures with regular drift and toxicity monitoring to maintain data integrity.
Privacy practices.
Let's transition to our fourth domain.
Privacy.
Why is privacy such a critical and amplified concern for AI systems specifically, beyond general data privacy?
This is a crucial distinction. What's particularly challenging and, well, fascinating here is AI's profound dependence on extensive data sets. This inherently amplifies privacy risks, as that data can inadvertently reveal personal details, lead to unauthorized profiling, or be subject to misuse in ways traditional software might not. The emphasis is on proactive privacy management, not just for regulatory compliance, but fundamentally to maintain user trust. This pillar is structured around 3 focus practices.
Okay, first, data minimization and purpose limitation. What are the objectives for responsibly handling data within AI systems here?
This practice tackles the core tension between AI's hunger for data and individual privacy rights. It's about collecting only the data strictly necessary for clearly defined purposes. The objectives are to ensure data minimization by collecting the absolute minimum data required, to limit data use strictly to clearly defined purposes, preventing scope creep, and to embed proactive privacy measures throughout the AI lifecycle rather than as an afterthought.
How does maturity progress in implementing data minimization?
At level 1, the approach is typically informal. Privacy actions are reactive to incidents, and responsibilities are undefined. Stream A notes limited documentation. Stream B shows no formal monitoring of data use and incident-based learning with a general lack of metrics. Still very reactive.
Yeah.
At level 2, organizations begin to implement structured privacy controls. Stream A includes documented policies, defining data minimization and purpose limitations, and defined accountability with specific roles. Stream B features routine monitoring of data practices and basic metrics that help inform adjustments to privacy practices.
Predictive privacy management at level 3 is a great example of foresight in managing risks, anticipating issues before they arise. That sounds quite sophisticated.
Exactly. At level 3, privacy practices are fully integrated and strategically aligned with the organization's broader goals. Stream A highlights lifecycle integration of continuous privacy impact assessments. Stream B includes advanced analytics for real-time monitoring of privacy risks, predictive privacy management to proactively identify and mitigate risks, and a deep culture of privacy excellence, where metrics drive organizational strategies and continuous improvement.
Okay, second practice. Privacy by design and default, PBD&D.
Yeah.
This is a well-known concept in privacy circles, but how does AIMA apply it specifically to AI systems, which are so dynamic?
AIMA emphasizes integrating privacy into both governance frameworks and technical workflows from the very outset. The objective is to ensure privacy is not an afterthought, but a core design feature across the entire lifecycle. The objectives are comprehensive. Embed privacy principles into system design, establish clear roles and accountability, equip engineering and design teams with reusable tools and patterns, integrate privacy assessments into development pipelines, and to continuously monitor and improve privacy effectiveness.
What are the maturity levels for PBD&D specifically within an AI context?
At level 1, practices are ad hoc with missing standards. Stream A also notes manual communication about privacy. Stream B shows no privacy engineering practices, a lack of tools, and a reliance on individuals to uphold privacy rather than embedded safeguards. Very dependent on individuals.
Right.
At level 2, a privacy by design policy is published and adopted. Stream A includes assigned roles like privacy officers and integrated processes for privacy impact assessments, DPIAs. Stream B provides reusable components for design patterns, clear process guidance with templates, and shared tooling to facilitate privacy by design implementation.
Privacy-enhancing technologies, PETs, like differential privacy and synthetic data, are mentioned in level 3. That's really getting into the technical weeds of how to implement this at an advanced level.
That's right. It shows the technical depth needed at higher maturity. At level 3, there's automated governance, where DPIAs are integrated directly into CI/CD pipelines. Stream A also features code-level enforcement for data retention and access. Stream B includes embedded PTs like differential privacy and synthetic data that are provided by default, integrated safeguards into design systems, and continuous metrics monitoring the effectiveness of privacy controls.
Okay, third practice here, user control and transparency. What are the objectives for empowering users regarding their AI data, moving beyond just compliance to genuine agency?
This practice is about ensuring users have meaningful agency over their data. It's about ensuring users understand how their data is used and have meaningful agency over that use. The objectives include user information transparency, ensuring clear communication, providing robust user control and consent over data use, establishing governance for user engagement, developing design enablement for transparency through patterns and APIs, and fostering feedback-driven improvement to continuously enhance user trust.
What does maturity look like for user control and transparency in AI?
At level 1, communication is often opaque, consent is generic and broad, and data ownership is unclear. Stream A notes inconsistent UI and no design standards. Stream B shows limited user access to their data management controls, not very user-friendly.
No.
At level 2, a user transparency and control policy is published. Stream A includes assigned roles like UX privacy leads and reviewed consent flows to ensure clarity. Stream B features standardized interfaces for user controls, process integration and design workflows, and consistent access to data via APIs. Getting better.
Privacy dashboards and granular controls are mentioned at level 3. This moves beyond just a checkbox to a truly empowering user experience, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. At level 3, measured transparency KPIs are tracked across all products. Stream A includes live consent tracking and contextual explanations provided directly to users. Stream B features adaptive components that respond to user needs, feedback-driven design, where user input shapes privacy features, and comprehensive control panels as a standard feature in user-facing AI systems.
Design practices.
Let's shift our focus now to the design pillar. This is where security and ethical considerations are baked into the very architecture of AI systems right from the start. What's the central idea behind this shift-left approach for AI?
The central idea is proactively integrating security and ethical considerations into the fundamental architecture and conceptualization of AI systems for the earliest stages of development. AI introduces new vulnerabilities such as adversarial attacks and unique ethical challenges that necessitate careful threat assessment and secure architecture decisions from day one. This pillar includes 3 core practices.
Okay, first, threat assessment. What are the specific objectives here, particularly given the rise of large language models and their unique attack vectors?
This practice is about understanding and mitigating the new threat landscape specific to AI. The objectives are LLM-specific threat mitigation, leveraging resources like the OWASP Top 10 for LLM applications, developing mitigation strategies aligned with ethical values, and ensuring security governance integration. The document specifically highlights things like prompt injection, data leakage, and harmful or unethical outputs as unique LLM vulnerabilities that must be proactively identified and addressed in the design phase.
How do organizations mature their AI threat assessment?
At level 1, there's often high-level risk identified, but with ad hoc documentation. Stream A notes limited stakeholder awareness of AI threats. Stream B involves use of basic checklists like the OWASP Top 10 for LLM applications, and an informal approach with limited coverage, just scratching the surface. At level 2, organizations begin to define processes for centralized risk management. Stream A includes a centralized risk inventory for AI systems with severity scores and regular updates to risk inventories. Stream B features a standardized threat modeling process, clearly mapping adversarial attack vectors and structured documentation, much more systematic.
Level 3 describes AI-driven tools that automatically detect adversarial attempts, prompt injection attacks. That's the AI fighting back against AI. It's a fascinating capability.
It is, and it's transformative for defense. At level 3, there's automated risk monitoring and real-time alerting for AI threats. Stream A also emphasizes continuous improvement with dynamic reassessment of threat models. Stream B features full automation of threat detection using those AI-driven tools and predictive analytics to anticipate new emerging threats before they become widespread.
Okay, second practice, security architecture. What are the key objectives for designing robust and resilient AI architectures, especially considering AI models aren't static?
What's crucial here is the recognition that AI models are not static. They evolve over time. So the architecture needs to support continuous protection and adaptation. The objectives are to design secure infrastructure and monitoring from the ground up, to embed real-time threat detection mechanisms directly into the architecture, and to ensure infrastructure resilience and integrity for all AI workloads.
What are the maturity levels here for designing secure AI architectures?
At level 1, you'll see basic isolation and access control and limited runtime protection. Stream A notes initial protections. Stream B involves baseline security features and informal selection criteria for technology stacks.
Right.
At level 2, standardized deployment safeguards are implemented. Stream A includes runtime guardrails, like output sanitization and input validation, and structured deployment processes. Stream B features standardized monitoring and observability and regular metrics review of architectural security.
Swift rollback mechanisms in Level 3 are crucial for quickly recovering from issues, showing that resilience is absolutely key, not just prevention.
That's right. Resilience is critical. At level 3, AI-driven adversarial detection is integrated directly into the architecture. Stream A also highlights model versioning and rollback capabilities for rapid incident recovery. Stream B includes automated patch management and scanning for all AI components and continuous improvement cycles that adapt the architecture to emerging threats.
Third, practice and design, security requirements. Why are clear, comprehensive requirements so vital early in the AI design phase before any code is even written?
This practice is really about managing the inherent complexity of AI. AI systems have unique challenges, including ethical considerations, compliance with emerging regulations, and vulnerabilities arising from complex data dependencies and model behaviors. Establishing explicit, documented security requirements early helps mitigate these risks from the ground up. The objectives are risk-based requirement definition, ensuring security is built, secure by design, and achieving compliance with regulations.
How do organizations mature these security requirements for their AI systems?
At level 1, there are usually baseline ethical guidelines and basic compliance measures. Stream A mentions general awareness of these. Stream B includes basic data provenance and manual tracking of requirements.
Okay.
At level 2, standardized bias and fairness tools are implemented, and integrated compliance processes are in place. Stream A notes structured documentation for security requirements. Stream B shows automated quality checks and enhanced provenance records for data and models.
The balance between automated compliance checks and expert human oversight at Level 3 is a really important nuance. It's not just about automation, but smart automation, right?
It truly is. It acknowledges that some things still need human judgment. At level 3, real-time compliance monitoring is integrated, with real-time audit trails automatically generated. Stream A also emphasizes expert human oversight for complex decisions that cannot be fully automated. Stream B features real-time provenance tracking, advanced provenance analytics, and continuous provenance auditing, with automatic generation of detailed audit trails, ensuring complete transparency and accountability.
Implementation practices.
Okay, now we're at the implementation pillar. This is where secure, ethical, and resilient practices are embedded throughout the AI system development lifecycle. What are the unique complexities AI brings to this phase compared to traditional software implementation?
What's fascinating here is how the document highlights the need for tailored practices for the entire AI lifecycle, from data handling and model training to deployment and post-deployment management, including scrutiny for external AI services and pre-trained models. You can't just focus on your own code. The document notes that AI systems introduce dynamic model behavior, data-driven vulnerabilities, and evolving threat landscapes. Also, because AI systems often make autonomous decisions based on probabilistic outputs, there's an increased potential for unpredictable or unintended behavior that must be managed during implementation. This pillar is organized into three practices.
Right. First, secure build. How does AI define a secure build for AI, especially given its reliance on data and third-party models?
A secure build for AI means ensuring that input-output behaviors are well understood and that components are sourced, configured, and validated securely. This includes making defensible supply chain decisions, considering ethical considerations during component selection, and ensuring reproducible configurations. The objectives are to promote secure foundations for AI systems, to establish model accountability for licensing and purpose, and to automate trust checks for reproducibility and robustness throughout the build process.
And the maturity levels for achieving a secure AI build, what do they look like?
At level 1, there's often ad hoc model selection and a general lack of inventory of AI components. Stream A notes missing provenance for models and unchecked licensing. Stream B shows vulnerability gaps and no tooling to verify secure builds. Very uncontrolled.
Yeah.
At level 2, secure guidelines are developed, including AI-specific considerations for build processes. Stream A also mentions basic model review and inventory control for AI assets. Stream B features I/O controls for sanitization and initial validation of model outputs, starting to put fences up.
Adversarial testing being routinely performed at level 3 is a powerful measure against malicious manipulation, catching issues before deployment.
It is very proactive. At level 3, formal risk reviews are conducted for all models and components. Stream A includes custody controls and supplier assurance processes for third-party AI components. Stream B features adversarial testing routinely performed as part of the build pipeline, CI/CD integration of AI security checks, and robust edge case validation to identify unpredictable behaviors.
Okay, second practice, secure deployment. What makes deploying AI systems securely different from traditional software deployments, given their dynamic nature?
The key difference is that models do not behave as static software artifacts but evolve over time. That's the core issue. This means deployment strategies must account for a model drift, environmental changes, and real-world adversarial conditions that can emerge post-deployment. The objectives are to establish clear documentation and traceability, implement structured approval workflows and rollback procedures, secure deployed AI assets, integrate legal and regulatory compliance, and to enhance resilience and reliability by actively detecting model drift and hallucinations.
How does an organization mature and secure AI deployment?
At level 1, you'll see basic environment capture and dependency logging. Stream A also mentions manual tracking of deployment. Stream B shows basic monitoring and I/O logging, along with fundamental usage metrics, just logging the basics. At level 2, structured deployment governance is established. Stream A includes defined approval workflows and rollback plans for AI systems, along with audit trails. Stream B features access restrictions to deployed models, access logging, and encryption of sensitive data in transit and at rest.
Monitoring for hallucinations in level 3 is such a unique AI challenge to track, moving beyond traditional security concerns into model behavior itself.
It truly is. It shows how AI operations differ. At level 3, compliance checks are regularly assessed and automated prior to deployment. Stream A also highlights full automation of these checks and audit readiness. Stream B features resilience design patterns embedded, robust drift detection for models, and alerting systems specifically for hallucinations and other anomalies, ensuring continuous operational integrity.
Third practice and implementation, defect management. How does defect management for AI go beyond traditional bug tracking, as the document suggests? What's different?
It goes beyond because it must extend to monitoring for ethical failures, for example, biased outputs, reliability issues, e.g. hallucinations, and security vulnerabilities, for example, model inversion attacks. It's a broader scope of defect. The objectives are comprehensive. Defect and failure tracking for AI-specific issues, maturity-based capability building for quality assurance, balancing human automation and quality processes, implementing predictive quality assurance, and developing closed-loop learning systems that learn from defects themselves.
What are the maturity levels for this expanded defect management?
At level 1, a basic defect taxonomy is defined, and basic tracking of model behavior issues begins. Stream A mentions initial documentation. Stream B includes user feedback monitoring and regression testing, along with basic alerting for failures.
Okay.
At level 2, defect prioritization is established based on the impact of AI issues. Stream A notes workflow integration of defect management into development and defect analytics. Stream B features advanced testing for edge cases and scheduled reevaluation of models for defect recurrence.
The idea of self-correcting systems that learn from defect signals in level 3 is truly pushing the boundaries of AI management. That sounds very advanced.
Absolutely. It's aiming for real autonomy and quality improvement. At level 3, root cause analysis thoroughly investigates failures at all levels: ethical, reliability, and security. Stream A includes knowledge sharing and cross-functional review of defects. Stream B features automated pipelines for retraining and model rollback, real-time monitoring with anomaly detection, and true closed-loop learning systems that continuously improve the AI based on defect signals.
Verification practices.
Okay, next is the verification pillar. With AI's complex, dynamic behaviors, what are the unique challenges here for ensuring trustworthiness? How do you verify something that changes?
Exactly, that's the core challenge. This pillar addresses how to validate something that might change its behavior over time. The document states that AI's complex, dynamic behaviors demand specialized verification approaches, ongoing assessments, and rigorous testing processes to ensure security, functionality, and ethical compliance. It's about building confidence in systems that are inherently less predictable than traditional software. This pillar is structured around 3 critical practices.
First, security testing. What's the objective for conducting specialized security assessments for AI beyond traditional penetration testing?
What's critical here is the focus on threats like adversarial attacks, model poisoning, and robustness failures that are unique to AI. The objectives are to implement adversarial testing, to identify vulnerabilities, to ensure model resilience against poisoning and manipulation, and to drive security-driven improvement based on testing insights.
How does an organization mature its AI security testing?
At level 1, security checks are typically ad hoc, activities are reactive, and there's limited understanding of AI-specific threats. Stream B shows no formal security metrics and inconsistent or irregular reporting, very unstructured. At level 2, a structured AI security testing approach is established. Stream A also notes defined responsibilities and AI security activities integrated into broader security testing efforts. Stream B features defined security metrics that are regularly collected and reported, getting more organized.
Proactive poisoning resistance evaluation at level 3 really highlights the advanced, forward-looking nature of these tests, anticipating attacks.
It does. It's about getting ahead of the threats. At level 3, comprehensive security testing is integrated throughout the entire AI lifecycle. Stream A includes advanced threat simulations like continuous adversarial testing and red teaming. Stream B features real-time monitoring of security posture with predictive metrics to forecast vulnerabilities and a robust continuous feedback loop driving constant improvement.
Okay, second practice, requirement-based testing. How does AIMA ensure AI systems consistently align with defined requirements, whether functional, security, or ethical, throughout their life cycle?
This practice is about ensuring reliability, compliance, and ethical integrity of AI deployments by validating against clear criteria. The objectives are standards compliance verification for functional security and ethical standards, achieving requirements traceability for clear links between requirements and testing, and enabling insight-driven improvement based on testing results.
What are the maturity levels here for testing against requirements?
At level 1, testing is often informal or inconsistently linked to requirements, and traceability is limited. Stream B shows minimal or no metrics, and testing results documented irregularly. Hard to prove anything.
Right.
At level 2, a formal testing process is established with clear links to defined requirements. Stream A also notes responsibility for requirement-based testing clearly assigned and regular execution. Stream B features defined metrics that are regularly reported, much better control.
Automated and continuous verification against requirements. At level 3, that's often the ideal state for any system, and especially crucial for dynamic AI, isn't it?
It certainly is. It's the goal. At level 3, requirement-based testing is fully integrated into the development pipeline, and verification is automated and continuous. Stream A also notes active use of feedback from testing to refine requirements. Stream B includes advanced analytics for compliance, predictive metrics to anticipate issues, and fosters a strong culture of accountability for meeting requirements.
Okay, third, practice and verification. Architecture assessment. How does AM suggest we regularly review AI system architectures for security and compliance throughout their evolution?
This practice is about identifying weaknesses early in the design and evolution of AI systems. It's about fostering robust, secure, and ethically compliant AI solutions from an architectural standpoint. The objectives are standards-based architecture validation, ensuring the architecture meets established benchmarks, enabling architectural vulnerability remediation, and driving architecture refinement through assessment based on continuous insights.
How does an organization mature in this practice?
At level 1, architecture reviews are typically informal or ad hoc, with limited awareness of AI-specific standards. Stream B shows few or no metrics and irregular documentation of these reviews, not very structured.
Hmm.
At level 2, a defined architecture review process is integrated into AI projects. Stream A also notes clearly assigned responsibilities and regular architecture evaluations. Stream B features established metrics for architectural health that are routinely reported.
Predictive analytics, proactively identifying potential architectural weaknesses at level 3, is a fantastic example of proactive security, moving beyond reactive fixes.
It's crucial for long-term resilience, absolutely. At level 3, there's comprehensive and continuous architecture assessment, deeply embedded in the AI lifecycle. Stream A also highlights proactive identification and remediation of vulnerabilities. Stream B includes advanced metrics and analytics for real-time architectural monitoring and predictive analytics to identify potential weaknesses before they can be exploited.
Operations practices.
Okay, finally, we arrive at the operations pillar. This is all about securely maintaining AI systems after they're deployed. What makes AI operations so complex and continuous compared to traditional software?
What's fascinating here is that organizations need dedicated operational practices to manage risks and ensure ongoing reliability, security, and ethical integrity for AI. The document highlights the inherent complexity and continuous nature of AI operations, including model updates, real-time inference, and dynamic data flows. This requires a completely different approach to ongoing management compared to, say, patching traditional software. This pillar includes 3 primary practices.
All right, first, incident management. How does AM approach handling security breaches, unexpected behaviors, or system failures in AI systems, given their unique challenges?
This practice is about adapting traditional incident response for AI's unique complexities. AI systems introduce unique challenges like adversarial attacks, model manipulation, and emergent biases. The objectives are swift detection and containment of AI-specific incidents, comprehensive root cause analysis and mitigation, transparent communication and reporting to stakeholders, and continuous improvement based on insights learned from each incident.
How does maturity progress in AI incident management?
At level 1, detection of incidents is often reactive, containment is ad hoc, and analysis is minimal. Stream B shows informal reporting and limited communication with sparse post-incident review, basically fighting fires.
Right.
At level 2, standardized protocols are established for AI incident handling with defined roles and consistent workflows. Stream B includes structured communication, regular reviews of incidents, and tracked improvements to processes. Much more organized response.
Adaptive response based on root cause and threat intelligence at level 3 shows a highly evolved system, truly learning from every incident.
It absolutely does. It's about getting smarter with each event. At level 3, automated detection systems leverage real-time analytics for AI incidents. Stream A also highlights integrated forensics and an adaptive response capability based on root cause and threat intelligence. Stream B features proactive notifications to relevant stakeholders, detailed reporting, and a continuous improvement cycle driven directly by incident data.
Okay, second practice, event management. What's the goal here for monitoring AI system events and anomalies, especially those subtle shifts that might not be a full incident but are still important?
This is about proactive vigilance, catching things before they become major incidents. Effective event management ensures that incidents related to model behavior, infrastructure, or data flow are rapidly identified, thoroughly investigated, transparently documented, and leveraged for continuous improvement. The objectives are real-time detection of drift, unfair predictions, or failures, a structured response plan, transparency and accountability in monitoring, continuous learning from events, and ultimately to minimize impact when anomalies occur.
How does an organization mature its AI event management?
At level 1, events are largely manually detected, and there's no anomaly detection. Stream B shows ad hoc management, no documentation, and a general lack of learning from events. Basically, things just happen.
Right.
At level 2, basic monitoring is in place, including metrics like latency and accuracy with initial anomaly detection. Stream A also notes alerting setup. Stream B includes incident logging for events and occasional RCA, root cause analysis, starting to watch the system.
ML-driven detection of anomalies and intelligent alerting? At level 3, it's like using AI to manage AI, which is fascinating.
Precisely, using the tech to watch itself. At level 3, real-time monitoring is in place with comprehensive dashboards. Stream A highlights ML-driven detection of anomalies and proactive alerts. Stream B features comprehensive workflows for event response, systematic RCA, and a robust continuous learning loop that refines monitoring and response over time.
Okay, third and final practice in operations. Operational management. What does it take to maintain consistent, reliable, and secure AI system operations in the long run?
This practice addresses long-term sustainability. It's about ensuring AI systems perform optimally, securely, and continuously meet compliance and business objectives. The objectives include operational stability, security compliance, effective resource management, proactive maintenance to prevent issues, and ensuring adaptability and scalability as AI systems evolve and grow, keeping the lights on, but for AI.
Makes sense. What are the maturity levels for operational management of AI?
At level 1, monitoring is manual and maintenance is reactive. Stream A also notes limited coverage. Stream B shows basic compliance awareness and ad hoc checks with minimal documentation. Very hands-on, reactive mode. At level 2, scheduled monitoring and preventive maintenance are in place. Stream A notes improved stability. Stream B features standardized security practices and regular audits, along with documented policy alignment, getting more proactive.
The idea of automated compliance enforcement at level 3 is a real game changer for scaling responsible AI operations, isn't it?
It absolutely is. Essential for managing complex systems at scale. At level 3, automated monitoring is in place with predictive analysis. Stream A also highlights continuous optimization and proactive resource management. Stream B features automated compliance enforcement, integrated security audits, and proactive threat mitigation, truly embedding responsible AI into everyday operations at scale.
Applying the model assessment and improvement?
Wow, we've walked through all 8 domains and their practices, covering a huge amount of ground. That's a lot to take in. But how do organizations actually use this AMA model? How do they apply it to assess their current AI maturity?
That's the key question, right? How do you make it practical? The model builds on OS Sound's established approach, defining 3 distinct maturity levels for each practice within those 8 domains. Each practice is comprehensively described by its overarching objectives, the activities required to achieve those objectives, and the tangible results expected at each level. What's particularly useful is that the objectives, activities, and results become more sophisticated as an organization progresses through the levels. For example, at level 1, a result in policy and compliance might simply be awareness of legal requirements, just a basic understanding. But at level 3, that evolves to fully integrated compliance, evidence management, and continuous monitoring, demonstrating advanced automated processes. The activities similarly scale from defining initial documents at level 1 to implementing sophisticated metric tracking and automation at levels 2 and 3. It shows a clear path forward.
So once an organization understands what each level means, how do they actually conduct an assessment? The document describes 2 recommended styles. Can you tell us about the lightweight assessment versus the detailed assessment?
Yeah, it's smart to have 2 methods as they serve different purposes. The lightweight assessment is designed for a quick snapshot, ideal for initial self-evaluation or maybe a quick check-in. You use straightforward worksheets with yes-no questions, which are quick to complete, often through internal interviews and document reviews. Based on these responses, you assign a provisional maturity level, like 1+A, indicating partial progress beyond the base level. It's excellent for quickly mapping existing efforts and getting a high-level view of where an organization stands across the 8 domains.
Okay, a quick check.
Exactly. The detailed assessment, however, goes a significant step further. After the initial questionnaire, it incorporates rigorous verification and evidence gathering. For example, if an activity requires regular AI MIBLE risk assessments, a detailed assessment would involve reviewing sample project documents, interviewing staff, and collecting concrete data to confirm these assessments are genuinely happening with the intended quality and frequency. Moreover, it involves collecting actual data on the success metrics provided by AIMA for each practice to ensure actual performance meets expectations. This deeper dive provides much higher confidence that paper compliance isn't mistaken for actual effective practice. You're really checking the work.
Right. Digging deeper. And how is the scoring handled? What does a 0 mean or a 3 plus? Is it a rigid system or is there some flexibility?
The scoring allows for a nuanced picture, which I think is important. Scores for each practice can be 0, 1, 2, 3, or include a plus low variant like 1 plus 11, 2 plus 11, or even 3 plus 11. A score of 0 simply means there's no appreciable activity in that area yet, just starting out. A 3, or 3 plus, is the highest score, indicating the organization performs all defined activities at that level and potentially even beyond what AMA explicitly specifies. The whole plus level designation is really clever. The document gives an example. If all level 1 criteria for policy and compliance are met, the organization is at least level 1 in that practice. If it also meets some but not all level 2 criteria, we denote that as level 1 plus. This acknowledges that real-world organizations rarely fit neatly into a rigid single level. It allows for a more accurate and nuanced picture of their actual progress and capabilities.
That makes sense. The document provides sample assessment worksheets for each domain, which really drives home the practical application of this framework. It's clear this is a very structured, comprehensive tool for self-evaluation, allowing organizations to visualize their overall AI maturity and target specific areas for improvement. Outro. What an insightful deep dive. We've unpacked the OWASP AI Maturity Assessment document, exploring its urgent necessity in our rapidly evolving AI landscape, and then breaking down its intricate 8 domains, each with specific practices and maturity levels. It's clear this functions as a comprehensive guide for building secure, fair, and trustworthy AI.
Yet, if we connect this to the bigger picture, what truly stands out is AIM's holistic approach. It's not just about technical security.
Right.
It integrates responsible AI principles, ethical values, governance, data management, privacy, design, implementation, verification, and operations into a single comprehensive framework. It acknowledges that AI's unique properties, like non-deterministic behavior and data-centric vulnerabilities, demand a fresh perspective on maturity that goes beyond traditional software models.
Right. And it gives you a clear, incremental path to improvement, which is so valuable for organizations trying to figure this out. It's about translating those big abstract goals like fairness and transparency into measurable, actionable steps. And by providing tangible tools like those worksheets, it moves organizations from reactive responses to proactive, deeply embedded practices.
Critical thinking is essential here, though. The document clearly positions AI as something that demands a new level of diligence due to its non-deterministic behavior, opaque logic, and data-centric vulnerabilities. It's a powerful call to proactive, rather than reactive, risk management, championing the idea of integrating security and ethics by design from the very beginning of an AI system's lifecycle.
So what does this all mean for you, our listener? Whether you're an AI developer, a CISO, a product lead, or simply someone curious about the future of responsible AI, this framework offers a concrete roadmap. It shows that securing and building trustworthy AI isn't an impossible task. It's a journey with clear steps and measurable progress, fostering not just innovation, but also, hopefully, public trust.
And this raises an important question for you to consider looking forward. As AI continues to evolve, influencing more and more aspects of our daily lives, how might these maturity assessment models themselves need to adapt and grow to keep pace with new technologies and unforeseen ethical dilemmas? Especially with the rapid advancements we're seeing in areas like agentic AI and multimodal systems.
That's a great question to ponder. How do these frameworks keep up? This deep dive has hopefully given you a much clearer understanding of the challenges and the solutions emerging for responsible AI today. That's it for this deep dive into the OWASP AI Maturity Assessment. If you found this useful, please share it with someone who also needs to be well informed. And remember, there's always more to learn. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into a topic that matters to you. Until then, keep learning, keep questioning, and stay curious.